Hi, my name is Samuel Utzinger, and I'm an undergraduate research assistant with the Northern Arizona University Reshape Lab. I work with Pedro Oliveira, Marco Garosa, and Igor Steinmacher, and I'm the first author of the DisTrac paper for the International Conference of Software Maintenance and Evolutions. This is my tool demonstration video, and the tool that we're trying to develop is based off of the idea that many of the open source software projects that people rely on only actually have a few contributors that are actively working toward them at any single time. These developers are called truck factor developers, and the problem is when these developers disengage, work stops, and files become under-maintained, there's a myriad of effects that happen to the project. Researchers have already studied this with knowledge concentrations and inactivity, but there's never been a tool that actively monitors, tracks, and forecasts these inactivity periods. DisTrac is trying to first forecast a developer's inactivity periods and predict before they happen, and then second, we're going to simulate the departure of this developer based off of our first prediction. And in the simulation, we're looking at the effect of a developer's departure on a repository. There's a back-end portion that collects data, builds a profile, and predicts a developer's inactivity, and then a front-end that uses all the data that's collected during this process to show a dashboard to users about the data that we collected. And now we're going to walk through the application with a voiceover to see what a user might be looking at during the tool usage.
A maintainer begins using our application by selecting a repository that they are a part of. The first view that DisTrac renders is each core developer's contribution history as a temporal strip. You can see this with the context given by the commits over time for the entire repository and our single truck factor developer of Oliver Kopp's activity timeline. Their contribution is broken up into many parts: commits, PRs, issues, PR reviews, and issue activity. A developer then selects a time window, but in our case, I'm going to show a specific example and we will select a date. You can see as we selected this date, we can see our core developer's 14-day departure risk has increased, indicating that this developer may take a break soon. We then click on the developer to simulate their departure. The first view that we get is of the overall project health and how their contribution affects the entire repository. We get to see the average amount of contributions they make per week and what percent total of the repository this impacts. The next tab shows the social network before and after a developer has been removed and the effect of this removal. We can see in this example, as Oliver Kopp is removed from the project, a different repository becomes the central node. A user can simulate other developers' departures as well. The last tab is knowledge concentration and which files will be affected the most. On the left side, we show off the repository's tree structure, and on the right side, we show off which developers contributed to which files. A folder can be selected and you can see an overview of that folder, or you can click on specific files that will become under maintained to see why or what the file is about.